New York City, the heart of American ambition, a place where power brokers and billionaires walk the same streets as everyday workers. But on the morning of March 14th, 2025, those streets became a crime scene. Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, the largest health insurance company in the nation, was gunned down in broad daylight. It was an execution, calculated and precise, 3 bullets to the back, a silent assassin disappearing into the morning fog. The suspect, Luigi Manjiello, a 26-year-old Ivy League graduate from one of the wealthiest families in the country. The motive? A manifesto that sent shockwaves through the nation. Some called him a hero, others a murderer. But behind the headlines, behind the public outrage, lies a story more complex than anyone could have imagined. Was Manjiello truly acting alone? Or was this the opening move in a much larger game? This is the story of the CEO assassination that shook America. It was 6:44 a.m. Midtown Manhattan was just waking up. Brian Thompson, a man worth millions, stepped out of his boutique hotel, dressed sharply for the investor meeting that awaited him. He was staying across the street from the Hilton, a short walk from the event that would shape the future of his company. What he didn't know was that someone was watching. Across the street, a man in a dark hoodie stood near a Starbucks, sipping his coffee. He had arrived in the city 10 days earlier. He had studied the patterns, he had waited, and when Thompson crossed the street, he made his move. 3 shots. The silencer muffled the sound, but the chaos erupted immediately. Thompson collapsed onto the pavement as the world around him stopped. Pedestrians screamed, taxis skidded to a halt. But the shooter? He was already gone. Security cameras caught glimpses of his escape. He weaved through alleyways, cut through Central Park, and vanished into the city. For 6 days, he was a ghost, until police found him sitting alone in a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, casually eating a hash brown. They had their suspect, but nothing about this case was simple. Inside Luigi Manjiello's backpack, investigators found cash, thousands of dollars in unmarked bills, a ghost gun with a silencer, a fake New Jersey ID, and something else. A notebook, pages filled with writings, ramblings about corruption, about the healthcare system, about corporate greed, and a chilling confession. I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial. Some elementary social engineering, basic patience. The words sent shivers through law enforcement. Manjiello claimed that the U.S. healthcare system was broken beyond repair, that companies like United Healthcare had been parasites on the American people, and that he was the one who had to take action. It was methodical, cold, but it didn't take long for the public to start asking questions. Was he really alone? The escape had been too smooth, the timing too perfect, and if this was truly about healthcare corruption, then who else might have wanted Brian Thompson dead? Manjiello was charged with first-degree murder, but unlike most high-profile criminals, he wasn't abandoned. He had support. A legal defense fund appeared online. Within days, it had raised over $134,000. Social media erupted with debate. Was Manjiello a terrorist, or was he a revolutionary? His legal team was assembled quickly, and they weren't just any lawyers. Karen Friedman Agnafilo, one of New York's most experienced criminal defense attorneys, took his case. She had once worked as a high-ranking prosecutor. Now, she was defending the most infamous suspect in America. Why? Did she believe in his cause? Or did she see something in this case that no one else did? Her first move was to fight extradition, delaying Manjiello's transfer from Pennsylvania to New York. She knew that once he was in Manhattan, prosecutors would throw the full weight of the law at him. Her goal was clear: keep him out of their hands for as long as possible. But would it be enough? Then, a stunning revelation. Newsweek obtained a leaked transcript of Manjiello's manifesto. One line stood out: "I do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full arguments, but many have illuminated the corruption before me. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly a power game at play." Who were these many he was referring to? Was Manjiello acting on someone else's orders? Investigators began piecing together his last 10 days in New York. Surveillance footage showed him meeting with unidentified individuals at coffee shops. Who were they? Had someone helped him? And more importantly, was this just the beginning? As investigators dug deeper, unsettling patterns began to emerge. Manjiello wasn't just a lone radical with a gun. Bank records showed that in the weeks leading up to the assassination, he had received multiple wire transfers, amounts just under $10,000, the threshold that triggers federal reporting requirements. The senders? All shell companies. Some were traced back to cryptocurrency exchanges, others to offshore accounts in the Cayman Islands. Who was funding him? And what was their true agenda? A second bombshell hit when the FBI uncovered encrypted messages on Manjiello's laptop. They weren't just notes about his attack, they were conversations. Someone had been guiding him. The messages were short, cryptic. Target is confirmed. Stay patient. Leave nothing behind. You know the stakes. Once done, go dark. We'll handle extraction. But Manjiello never got extracted. Had his own people abandoned him? Or was his arrest part of the plan all along? Then, another twist. A whistleblower, an anonymous source from inside United Healthcare, stepped forward. Through an encrypted email to the Washington Post, they made a stunning claim. Brian Thompson had been about to expose a billion-dollar fraud. According to the source, United Healthcare had been secretly denying life-saving treatments to maximize profits. The evidence? Internal memos, emails, documents showing that thousands of claims had been rejected, not because of medical reasons, but because payouts would hurt the company's bottom line. And just days before his assassination, Thompson had reportedly told close associates that he was planning to go public. Had he been silenced? Had Manjiello been manipulated into pulling the trigger for someone else's gain? Manjiello's background was privileged, wealthy parents, an Ivy League education. So why would someone like him risk everything to kill a CEO? As investigators looked into his past, they found something troubling. His mother had died of cancer 2 years earlier. Her insurance had denied a critical treatment, one that could have extended her life. And the company that had denied it? United Healthcare. This wasn't just a political statement. This was personal. But was Manjiello simply an angry son seeking revenge? Or had someone used his grief to turn him into a weapon? Just when the case seemed clear-cut, something unexpected happened. A man walked into an FBI field office in Chicago. His name? Victor Anwar, a former cybersecurity expert. He claimed to have proof that Manjiello had not acted alone. He handed over a flash drive. On it, a series of chat logs from a dark web forum. The conversations revealed that a shadowy group had been watching Thompson for months. They discussed surveillance tactics, escape routes, how to ensure the assassination would send the right message. And at the center of it all, a figure known only as Orion. Who was Orion? Was he the mastermind? Or was he just another pawn in a game much bigger than anyone realized? The FBI traced Orion through offshore accounts, encrypted servers, and dead-end leads, until one breakthrough changed everything: a simple hotel booking. Under a fake name, but paid with a card linked to a high-ranking United Healthcare executive. When agents raided the suite, they found the room wiped clean, except for a single note left on the desk. Too late. The game always continues. No fingerprints, no DNA, no trace of Orion. Manjiello was convicted. The whistleblower vanished. The case was closed. But in the world of power, corruption, and hidden agendas, one truth remained. Justice isn't always about who pulls the trigger. It's about who makes the call. As for the mysterious Orion, the investigation continues, with authorities chasing whispers of a larger conspiracy. Will justice be served? Or is there more to this case than meets the eye? One thing is certain: this trial is far from over.